One podcast
One podcast
between you and me.
between you and me.
So you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
All right. So, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, finally.
Finally, yeah. So, the last few weeks we've been dealing with some real serious issues. I mean, serious as far as I'm concerned, I'm rather. And so we're gonna take a break from the wealth generation.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break from, I guess, the trend that we've been on and talk about. I guess we finally get around to talk about the New Year. I guess is the way to talk about it.
Yeah, we're talking about the new year and talking about the fact that what goes on with New Year's. You know, every New Year, every time every New Year comes around, people sit back and they make these, I guess, resolutions.
Right, resolutions.
And we're going to talk about resolutions, and so we have the top 10 resolutions that people make for New Year's.
Right.
So we got a list, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go through the list. We're going to talk about the 10 resolutions and how we feel about it.
Right.
Um,
And then past that,
then
we have the reasons why some of these resolutions fail.
Yep.
For so many of us year after year, even though we continue to make.
we continue to make them, and
Yeah.
so yeah, it's interesting because for me, I'm not really in the New Year's resolutions.
Me either. I'm not a big cycle kind of person.
No, you ain't a big
As
cycle
far
kind
as
of
like
person either.
years or months, I'm like any day is any day almost. Like if you decide to do something today, it can be done today. You don't have to wait
Right,
till a specific day or cycle position around the sun to
And I think that's
decide when to make a change.
I think that's me. I it's like if I find out today or I realize today that I need to make a change in my life, or I need to do something differently. I'm not big on waiting until like you said, a particular day, waiting until the beginning of the year to make that change in my life. It's like, okay, you need to make that change. We need to do it right now.
Which even still might be a reason why some of these changes fail.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe.
Sometimes it's the put off that kind of causes things to fall
You're
apart.
right, you're
Sometimes
right.
you got to do it right now.
Yeah, I was invested 3 months ago, but
Right.
today, not so much.
Right.
So anyway, so we're just gonna jump in, and so number 10 on this list of the top 10 New Year's resolutions is to spend more time with family. Spend more time with family.
So we're just gonna do the head.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You gonna read the subtext?
No,
Okay.
just spend more time with family.
All right. So spend more time with family. How do you feel about spending more time with family as a resolution?
I don't know, man. I imagine if I feel slighted by somebody who doesn't spend enough time with me, and they say, "Okay, but I'm gonna spend more time with you," but you gotta wait until the beginning of the year.
Well,
I think.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I feel like resolutions are less of a well, we're subjecting this to this time of year, or I'm gonna make this decision for this period. I feel like it's more of a, I've been thinking about this and I want to make sure that I do something. So this is a decision I'm making right now for this point in time. That going forward, I'm gonna spend more time with family.
Yeah, whatever.
You okay? That's noise to you.
Yeah, that's noise to me, man. Nah, if you feel like you neglecting me, like you telling me so maybe I gave you a gift this year, so because I gave you a gift, you realize I gave you a Christmas gift. Like, man, Dad gave me a Christmas gift. Maybe I need to spend more time with him. That's my New Year's resolution. Is that how it works?
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. So yeah, spend more time with family. That's craziness to me. I mean,
It sounds like you're not a big resolution fan, sir.
oh no, I'm not a big resolution fan. I think I said that already. All right, number 9. So number 9 is really, really funny.
Yeah, this is what y'all been pushing on me.
Yeah, and I wasn't waiting New Year's for it either. Fall in love. How that work, man? How you tell somebody, okay, next year I'm falling in love?
Well, so that's the same thought I had, but when I read down into the subtext, he kind of put opening myself to a relationship, which is a little bit more amenable.
Whatever.
You don't care.
So what you saying? Go ahead.
You got to look at it through the context of just a choice, a decision to make, not necessarily that it's something for a new year. Just look at it as a decision to be made.
Say all this time I haven't been in love, so I'm gonna fall in love this year.
I think it's more of a I'm gonna not reject love this year. I'm gonna make sure that I'm opening myself up and available, and not kind of putting anything off or pushing people away.
Okay. All right. All right. I take your word for it. I take your word for it. So number 8.
Help others with their goals. Would that be something that you would say?
Um,
Last year I had a very prosperous year, and so as I'm going forth into this year, now that I can see myself, I have these resources now. Let me try to do the best that I can to use these resources to help others.
all right, man. If you look at it from that perspective, I think I might give you that one. Like, you know what? This year I'm gonna be more helpful to others. Yeah, because last year I kind of slammed through it for myself. This year I might just be more helpful to others. From that perspective, I'll give you that. I'll
That's
give you
perspective.
that.
You're supposed to look at all of them.
Oh,
Sam.
for real?
Yeah.
I don't think so. All the rest of them don't apply. But helping others, I think, is cool. So then number 7, then,
Hmm.
and I know I've heard this a million times, man. Quit smoking, quit drinking, or quitting bad habits.
That's one that I would say, in particular, for that very specific case, is something that has to be when convicted right now kind
Yeah.
of change.
Yeah.
You can't say I'm gonna wait to break a habit. No, it has to be right now. This isn't good. Do it right now. Some
Yeah.
people aren't big cold turkey people. I know I'm a huge cold turkey
I
person.
am
You're
too.
also a cold
I
turkey
am a cold
person.
turkey person. Yeah.
So it has to be like, you know what? It can't be like edging on the side of. It has to be a cold stop.
Yeah. And it's funny because like they say it takes 21 days to make a habit.
Right.
And like it's
I disagree with that, but
but I'm
go
just
ahead.
saying. So right about now, we're 20 some days into the year. Like
Maybe
y'all,
that just don't work for me.
hey, if y'all said you were gonna stop smoking, are you still not smoking? Are you still not drinking? I don't know, man. I mean, again, if you want to say I want to make a commitment to myself this year that I'm gonna stop smoking this year, but I still don't see it as a resolution type thing. I don't see it as a New Year's resolution type
What do you
thing.
think a resolution is?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
I think you're thinking more of like a business style of goal.
no, I don't even think. I don't even think it's. I think it's the New Year's part. Again, I'm big on resolutions. Like I'm big on deciding to make changes in your life.
Uh-huh.
So it's not that part about it. Because I mean, I think you decided you want to make a change. You set it out there. You set a goal. You make it a smart goal. And you roll with it. But if you realize, I mean, unless you, I mean, yeah, even with that. I don't know. Some people, I guess, they sit down when they sit down and look at a year in review. Maybe that's it. Maybe because I don't believe in resolutions, I never really read a book on how do you set New Year's resolutions. So maybe people sit down and look at their year in review, and they be like, okay, since I look at my year in review,
That's
these
what
are
I
some
was
things
saying.
I want to
I
change
mean,
about my life.
it's the same as like a quarterly review, after project review, just kind of going over a period of time, taking a look at it and what can be done better is how I see a New Year's resolution.
All right. I mean, I
I feel like
guess.
you rejecting the idea. You can reject the whole list if you reject the idea of it.
You're
You
right.
can't just reject the idea.
You're right. You're right. That's what I'm trying. I'm
So
trying to
even
get
though
with it.
this thought process might not be something that you use, that's
Okay.
not the same way everybody thinks.
All
Not
right.
everybody reflects on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. So
Some people deal with life like a project from year to year or season to season.
all right, let me go recap. Spend more time with family. I'm gonna sit down at the beginning of the year. Man, I ain't spending no time with my family. So this year I'm gonna spend more time with my family.
Because I feel like I've seen you make that type of resolution. It wasn't a New Year resolution.
It wasn't a New Year resolution. That's
But
what I'm saying.
I feel like we've even had conversations like, we can, in a time like this, we can spend more time with family.
Oh yeah. But it's at realization time. And I think that might be. You're
Well,
right. You're right. I mean,
Because that's what I was saying. Some people might realize things like around the end of the year into the new year. This is their time of reflection over the year.
well, that's
So
what I said.
their
Like if I
moment of
give you a gift at the
realization.
time I give you a gift, then you're gonna say, "Oh man, I just got a gift from my dad. Maybe I need to spend more time with him."
I mean, but that hasn't ever happened to you. Like somebody reached out to you, or you saw somebody do something like that, and it made you think, "Oh, this prompts me to change my actions.
Oh
It
no,
prompts me to do
you're right.
something."
You're right. You're right. But
Uh-huh.
but again, in those situations, it prompts me to change my actions then, not
Uh-huh.
wait. Because again, if you look at
It's
it,
a
and you're right.
conversation for after the list.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, because I mean, we're talking about yeah. All right, we'll talk about it after this. Let's
Yeah.
go into this. All right, man. Learn something exciting.
That's a day-to-day thing for me as well.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So if we
Learn
look at
something exciting. That one kind of feels like a cop out to me
okay.
personally
Okay.
because I mean, for one, we have so much access to knowledge nowadays
Uh-huh.
that I feel like saying something, and this year I'm going to learn something exciting. Like you can learn something exciting right now while you talk about learning. That's something I feel
So
is
now you acting like
easily
me.
accessible.
Now you're acting like me. But
Well,
that's
I'm
okay.
just saying because we have the privilege of having knowledge everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like but I mean, I'm a big person on learning new things, which is why I'm probably biased towards that because I'm always looking at new stuff and always looking to learn new information.
So maybe your resolution should be, I'm gonna learn something that I ain't want to learn.
I'm gonna learn something that I ain't.
Like my dad been telling me X all this time, and I've been rejecting it. But this
I
year,
don't think there's
I'm
ever
gonna
anything I
learn
didn't
to
want to
accept
learn.
it. Whatever. All right.
Be like, this don't work for me right now.
Okay.
We'll
cool.
check back in 10 years.
Yeah, check back in 10 years. Staying fit and healthy.
That's a huge one. I feel like that's something that the vast majority of people make at the beginning of each year.
Uh-huh.
That's one that also fails for a whole lot of folks too.
A whole lot of folk. Really, a whole lot of folk. It's admirable. It's admirable, but again, it's funny because what happens a lot. I think. I mean, I've never done it, so I can't tell you what happens for me. But like if I make a decision that I'm going to start working out, and I'm gonna work out, 3 times a week.
Right.
And week 1, I work out 3 times a week. Week 2, I work out 2 times a week.
Mhm.
Week 3, I'm like, man, I'm working out 2 times a week. This just ain't working for me. So I guess I might as well just wait till next year and start all over again.
This is what I'll say about working out. I feel like the way as someone that has worked out in the past.
So what are you trying to say?
But what I'm saying is, I feel like when you approach working out is more of a mental thing, and more of a mentality than a physical thing. And I feel like where a lot of people fall short on a goal like this is they go into, say, a new year and they're like, oh, I'm going to start attacking this physically. You know what? 3 times a week, I'm going to work out. But really, it's the mindset that has to be addressed more so than the physical decision to go do it.
Right. I agree with you. It's almost like when people say when you're trying to lose weight, don't get on the scale.
Right.
Because if you don't see the change on the scale,
it's not about seeing change. It's
right,
like,
right.
I want to do better for my body, so I'm going to do this.
Right. Regardless, come,
Right.
whether
Whether
come
it
what
feels
may.
like I've made,
Right.
whether I feel like it's changed today or not, things like that. Whereas you can get a lot of excitement when you see immediate results, which is another thing about working out. A lot of times, because it's such it's a shift of doing something physically, you're gonna see some kind of immediate result, or whether that's good or bad.
Yeah, you're gonna be tired. That's your immediate
Right,
result.
you'll be tired. But like, say you get up, you lift one day, you're like, oh, my muscles feel a little bit bigger today. I might want to do some more of that. When you get into more of this middle portion of it becoming a routine, those day-to-day changes aren't going to be as significant as, oh, I wasn't doing it and I did it one day.
Okay.
You're going to feel different. But once you get like that feeling starts to get normal, then that progress feels a little different to you. So you don't really have that high to do the physical thing, which is why it's such a mentality change.
And which I think that's the issue I have with the whole resolution thing. The whole thought behind the resolution.
It's like a motivational speaker.
Well, no, it's not. Not. It's almost like I'm not making changes because I want to be better. I'm making changes because I want to see results. And there's a difference there.
That's a great question to pose at the end of the list. So
all right, cool.
Write it down.
All right.
Going into the next one, which I feel like this is a good resolution to have.
Mm-hmm.
It says enjoy life to the fullest.
Okay.
Why do you disagree?
I didn't say I disagree.
Well, stop looking at me like that, then, sir.
I
think almost like a don't say no type of thing. Have you ever heard of that?
No, man. I heard
it's
say
like,
no.
For 24 hours, I won't say no to anything.
No.
You haven't heard anything like that?
No.
Well, that's how I saw this one. It's like going into this new year, I've done work. I've worked so hard. This year, I want to take the opportunity to try new things. Maybe I'm going to go on a cruise this year because I've been working so much. I ain't been on a cruise ever in life. And that's something I wanted to do. Like, I'm just going to, instead of working all the time, be so laser focused on working and getting the dollar, I'm going to be more focused on myself and living life and enjoying my life instead of just working for my life.
All right, I get that. I won't even give you I won't even stain. I'm just gonna say, okay, yeah. All right, cool. I can see that.
All right.
Yeah.
So our next one is spend less, save more.
Yeah, right.
I think that's kind of a day-to-day thing too.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that that's something that takes research, decision making. I feel like a lot of times with decisions they have to be made at the time with that decision for it to work. But resolutions work for some people.
They do. Resolutions do work for some people, and I agree with you what you said about. I mean, because I'm thinking to myself, like, if I look at my bank account and it doesn't look like I wanted it to look today, I mean, I think I need to start making that change today.
But that's something I feel like when it comes to finances, that's something that cycles benefit you in a sense of when you judge your finances, you often judge it in cycles. Like when I budget I'm spending this much this week or this month type of deal. So you kind of look at it in a cycle. That's why I feel like a New Year's resolution of finance can be cyclical when you're looking at it.
Okay.
So for this new year, I have this set budget from month to month. So that's why I don't see that as a bad goal. I feel like the biggest thing about resolutions is kind of like the movie we just watched.
You watched the movie?
Yes, Frozen 2.
Oh, Frozen 2.
I watched Frozen
yeah.
2 earlier.
Yeah.
She was talking about
Finally.
when it seems it's been years because you watched it without me. It ain't my fault. You like it's my fault.
The movie came out 20 years ago. You wanted us to wait?
I mean, I couldn't go to no movie theater. So
all right, whatever.
Whatever, man. I was single. I had no reason to see it.
Well, maybe you need to make your New Year's resolution to fall in love.
Yeah, we'll see about that one. Maybe next year.
What
was that? I don't even know what I was gonna say anymore, man.
I don't know, man. You want to talk about Frozen? Something you learned?
Oh, yeah. All right. So when you're looking at something could seem so huge, it's such a big thing, hard to tackle, and you take it day by day, step by step. I feel like that's something when it comes to resolutions. A new year is like a cleansing moment for a lot of people. It's like an inhale, exhale, breath. Take a deep breath. And so everything from before I had the opportunity to kind of wipe that from my mind and focus on the future. And so that's why, okay, now I'm setting this goal for right now. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about too much. Like now, like with finances, for this month, I'm setting my budget for this month and we're just going to do it. So that's why I feel like the new year is a cleansing breath for a lot of people.
All right, so I'm just going to rattle off the last two because I got something to say. And I'm gonna probably forget it, but I'm gonna say it. I'm the last.
Well, you can pose it, and then we'll get back to
No, I don't want to pose it yet. I want to get to the last two because I mean we're going on the same track. We're saying, okay, yeah, this makes sense as a goal. It makes sense as a goal, and so get organized. Makes sense as a goal. Like it does make sense. And the last one is lose weight. We can lose weight.
Lose weight kind of goes with staying fit.
Yeah, it goes with staying fit and healthy. So
I feel like staying fit and healthy kind of goes better to what you were talking about before, of being healthy and looking for lifestyle change instead of results.
Right. Because losing weight is definitely a result. Like I'm looking for a result, and a lot of people get derailed because they put themselves through.
When you look for results after you get the result, you no longer stay in the process.
Well, not even that. I mean, that could not be true. I have somebody that I have in mind, in particular, a friend of mine who went through that process, and I mean, he got addicted to it, and he just kept going, and addicted in a good way, not in a bad way.
That's when it comes more to the health side,
right?
Because when you're talking about, I want to lose 30 pounds, now after you lose 30 pounds, you stop working out.
Well, no, see, okay, so here we go. Man, it gets kind of dicey because again, when you start talking about, if you think about how this whole new trend of these stomach bands or
a waist trainer,
no, the medical procedures.
Oh, okay,
the medical procedures. And so the thing is, I'd be interested in seeing the actual statistics on this, but I know that a certain percentage of people who go through this process to lose weight don't maintain that weight loss.
Right.
And because it's almost like an instantaneous thing. I mean, and it's in no way instantaneous, and I haven't done it, so please forgive me if I'm making it sound oversimplified. I'm not trying to make it oversimplified at all. But what I'm saying is, and some people do it for health reasons. And
Right.
so I'm not talking about people that do it for health reasons. But what I'm saying is, like, you have to, and from my understanding, because I haven't done it, I know people who have, but from my understanding, you actually have to commit to a lifestyle of eating healthier, commit to a lifestyle of
Right.
cutting back and doing things in an effort to assist you with that mindset once the surgery takes place. But again, I'm speaking from the perspective of people who just do it cosmetically. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because I feel like I don't look right this way, and I want to make a change myself. And it's like it's not about the process, because the process is the thing that really builds in
Right.
the
I feel
success.
like we've become such a I don't know, poster board results based society. Um Everybody wants to look a certain type of way, not necessarily in physical appearance, but it's all about like social media. Instagram's the highlights of your life, that
Hmm.
type of thing.
Hmm.
So it's all about putting out this front picture of what, oh, I look like this more so than I am this. Like I buy expensive things, so I must have money even though I don't budget well. Or like you're talking about the whole weight thing, because a lot of people they can get the surgery to lose weight to look better, but if you're not keeping up with the diet,
Right.
if you're not living a healthier lifestyle, you very well may go back to looking the way that you were before, because the big problem was the lifestyle.
Right. I do everything to get to the other side of the equal sign. I was trying to think of a nice, sexy way of putting that, but I want to get to the result side of it, and I
Right.
don't really invest myself
The
into
foundation's what
the
matters.
equation to get to the result side, and so that's the problem. So yes, what I was going to say a few minutes ago, before I rattled off those last two, I remember years ago, I came to the revelation for myself, which is probably what a lot of things that go into the whole conversation I've been having so far is like, again, if you decide today that you need to make a difference, let's go ahead and make a difference today. I remember I was talking to a guy, and we were at the end of November, and his thought was, man, you know what? At the beginning of the new year, I'm gonna start cranking so I can make more money,
Mhm.
because his making money, well his livelihood was tied into his entrepreneurial pursuits. I'd say it that way. And when he said that, something in me snapped and said, "Why are you gonna write off a whole 30 days just to wait to the beginning of the year to start doing something different or better to make money? Don't you think the most opportune time to make money is right now while everybody else is taking time off?" And so that's sort of like my mindset. And so I remember last year, 2020, no, 2019, I went out to a group of people on Facebook, or everybody on Facebook, and I challenged them. And I challenged them at the end of October to make a decision. October, November, December, January. Yeah, the end of October, to make a decision to make a change today. And let's track it for the next 6 months to see what the end was going to be. And it's interesting. Let me tell you what the interesting thing about that was. When I first put that gauntlet out there, when I put that first put that challenge out there, I had a lot of people hit me up on that challenge. I mean, I probably had 40 people. I was looking for 10. I probably had about 40 people hit me up and say, "Yeah, I'll take you up on the challenge." When it
Right.
came down to really wanting to set the goals and give me the goals so they can be tracked, um, substantially less people decided to go that route. Maybe 15, 16 people decided to go that route. I wanted to put everybody together in a group to hold each other accountable. And so we probably had about, 11, 12 people to join that group to hold each other accountable. A lot of people fell by the wayside during the year because COVID hit. And, COVID
It
was
was an
something,
excuse.
it was an excuse. It was like they looked at the fact that COVID came, and it was, because it was unexpected, it derailed them. And I'm like, but COVID made it easier for some of y'all to do what y'all wanted to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But instead, because you had something else that came in, you were able to now say, okay, well, I don't have to hold myself accountable. And I was so glad for myself that I started that thing early. You know, again when it came to mine, because that means when COVID actually did hit, I had a running start.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And those people who waited to January 1st, like by the time February rolled around, people started talking about people getting sick. Now people looking around like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be hanging and doing X, Y, or Z.
Right.
Whereby if you were already 2 to 3 months into this thing,
It's
you already
already
got
started.
momentum, you know? So anyway.
A lot of people want to be better, but they don't want to do what it takes to be better.
Right. That's exactly right. But that goes back to what you were talking about, that whole internet, that social media generation.
Because it's
All
so easy to fake the funk nowadays.
Ain't it? All right,
You know,
so
I was watching a comedy show
Was
or
it
a
funny?
comedy special.
Was it funny?
The dude actually was funny. I saw
Okay.
the video on YouTube, but he was talking about how people share too much on the internet now, and like it used to be somebody disappears and they come back like 6 months later, and they just look way better. Like they done toned, they done lost weight, all kinds of stuff. But now you see everybody in the gym day 1, all right, day 2. It's like by the time you get there, we don't even care.
Right.
It's
right.
like it wasn't this huge change. It's like, should you be working out right now?
Yeah.
Everything's so focused on the appearance of something more so than actual personal growth.
Right. I see that. I see that.
Don't get caught up in
Don't get caught up in the hype, man. And even when you do these resolutions, really, I mean, for real, they should be for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They should be for you. You should be invested in it, regardless of anybody else knows, regardless of if anybody else cares.
Which it's funny because there's two like rivaling thought processes there. There's a thought process of when you make a goal, you should tell somebody so that there's somebody to hold you accountable.
Well, if you got an accountability partner, yes.
Right. But
yes.
there's also a thought process of when you create a goal, make that goal for yourself and don't necessarily tell anybody about it.
Right.
I feel like, well, it kind of depends on the thing for me.
Yeah,
I'm more so the second kind.
You are, but that's not necessarily a positive. I mean, like again, I don't think you should share your goal with everybody.
Right.
But you
have
should share it
somebody
with
to hold you
somebody.
accountable.
Right. You should
But
share it with somebody.
There should be, I mean, that just even comes down to people you surround yourself in life with. You should have people that you guys can create goals that hold each other heavily accountable for what you say that you're going to do.
Yeah.
Somebody that keeps your integrity in check, basically.
Yeah, especially if you follow number 9 and fall in love.
What about that? You talking about me falling in love to get?
Yeah, you'd have somebody to hold you accountable. Anyway.
If you say so. That don't always lead to that.
It should if it's love. But anyway, this is another story. That's another podcast.
We're going to do a podcast on that. I'm going to call it Debunking Love.
Yeah, let's do it. Debunking Love.
Uh-huh.
All right, cool. So let's jump into this other one. The next
why
one.
they fail?
10 reasons why they fail. We're gonna try to get this a little quicker, all right? So the first reason why they fail, because you're treating like a marathon, or you're treating a marathon like a sprint.
Facts.
You treat that. Those are facts. Those are facts.
That was basically the whole. Oh, that was a big part of that thought process.
Yeah.
It's not about just look like this. It's, are you building the foundation? Are you developing the lifestyle? Are you making character changes to actually become this instead of just looking like this?
Right.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon.
It's a marathon.
Crazy video I watched. Hot video. Can't remember who did it. If I could remember the name of the guy, I'd tell you. But he's very wealthy. What's his name? It don't matter. Basically, he was talking about how he makes lifestyle change and how we make goals that are too, weak goals. They're spread out too far. It's something like, I want to eat healthy and I want to maybe go on a diet for this amount of time. And he said that's the wrong way to look at removing something from your life or making a change in your life. He said, like, when he decided he wanted to get healthier, he made the decision, all right now, this very moment, I'm going to stop drinking Pepsi. So for the rest of my life, I'm never drinking another Pepsi again. That's my health choice for change right now. You go, you get a handle on that. All right, now I'm eliminating something else. And so instead of looking at a blanket like, oh, there's so much like room for sway and all that, it's like, no, I've just cut this out of my life indefinitely. Right at this moment.
And that's interesting because I think that kind of lines up a lot with my belief, and I believe your belief as well. It's like just decide to do some cold turkey.
Right.
Like it's done.
Like, it don't even got to be like, oh, I'm cutting carbs out of my life indefinitely, because that's a huge thing for you to overcome. But it's like, oh, I'm gonna eat or like with dairy, like with me, I just started drinking almond milk.
I'm gonna settle on that last. But anyway, yeah.
Oh man, I'm in for life
I
now.
hear you. It's good because you're gonna have to buy it
Unless
because I
my
ain't buying it.
my budget changes,
that's what I'm saying.
because that almond milk be a little
It
expensive.
ain't
Man. I don't
cheap.
know.
Hey, I hooked you up with your
Half a
first.
gallon costs more than a gallon
I
of
done hooked you
regular
up with your
milk.
first 2 half a gallon. So I guess
That's
I done hooked you up with your
craziness.
first gallon of almond milk. I'm done.
But yeah, like if you could just decide to make a choice such as, oh, I'm just gonna cut this one thing out of my life indefinitely. I'm making a change here instead of kind of something that's so overwhelming
Right.
and such a huge lifestyle change. Like it's easy to just be like, I'm just not gonna drink any more Pepsi.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily easy, but smart with the small things work up to the big thing.
True. I mean, it's easy. It's easy when you say I don't need to. I don't know need any more sugar to intake
Right.
in my life for the rest of my life, and you start saying, okay, I can't eat anything with sugar.
Right. That's really hard to do.
That's hard to do. But you can say, okay, well, I'm
You
gonna start with Pepsi.
You can draw a line in the sand with
Especially
Pepsi.
since Pepsi nasty, it's easy to say Pepsi.
Pepsi is nasty, but that's a different story.
All right. Number 2,
Uh,
you put the cart before the horse. I think we kind of just talked about that. Like, what's behind the equal sign? We're so busy trying to get to what's behind the equal sign, and we're not even thinking about the investment that it takes, the equation that it takes to get to that.
uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
You don't believe in yourself.
You don't believe in yourself.
That's fun. That could be huge. Low key, that might be a subconscious thing for a lot of people.
Man, like if you get to the point where you don't believe in yourself, that's like the stop, drop, and roll point right there.
I feel like I would make the argument that a vast majority of people don't truly believe.
That's why they need to fall in love so they can find somebody to help them out.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
I know you
actually.
do. But anyway,
I actually disagree wholeheartedly,
whatever.
but that's a different conversation. Love
Yeah.
yourself. Love yourself, shawty.
Okay,
It ain't
all
about
right.
these other
Okay,
dudes out
that's a
here.
bar.
They ain't gotta love you.
That's a bar.
Love yourself,
That's
man.
a bar. But
Character
anyway,
build yourself.
But anyway, if you have somebody else that believes in you, it kind of helps you believe in yourself. But I give you what you
I
said.
agree with that.
I give you what you said.
But yeah,
Yeah.
the change has to be inside because you don't want to base any type of change like that on external factors.
Well, the reason why I said stop, drop, and roll because if it's a point where you really don't believe in yourself, I do believe that any goal that you set out to get is going to fall short.
Right.
And so before you address anything that's going to try to, before you address anything that you feel somebody else is going to revere, okay, stop and take a look at yourself and try to figure out what you can do for self-love. And so what I mean by that is some people, I imagine, they'll say, well, I want to lose 100 pounds because people think I'm fat. You know what I'm saying? And then you lose 100 pounds and people still think you got a bad attitude. So it really didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about them. And so just stop, drop, and roll is what I'd say.
What I was going to say, something that we touched on, it could have been months ago in the podcast, was you have to be able to depend on yourself. And I think that's huge. You have to be able to trust yourself integrity.
Yeah.
You have to be able to trust your own integrity.
Right.
When you say that, oh, I'm done drinking Pepsi for the rest of my life, you have to believe in yourself that you're not going to do that and that you have the ability to not drink another Pepsi in your life.
And hold yourself accountable.
Right.
Like, man, you weren't supposed to drink that Pepsi, man.
Right. You have to, I don't know. It's almost like, don't be too hard on yourself, but don't not be hard on yourself.
Don't not be hard on yourself. Like, don't let yourself slide.
Right.
Don't let yourself slide. You got to be your hard taskmaster. Yeah. Too much thinking, not enough doing. Yeah, that's almost like that procrastinate thing. That's why, again, I think that's why to get into the New Year's to have a resolution thing is kind of whack.
Which is huge for me because I'm a big procrastinator.
Yes, you are.
In terms of, because...
Man, I don't care why it is. You are a big procrastinator. But go ahead.
Whatever, man. Let me speak my
Go
truth,
ahead, man.
sir.
Speak your truth.
Since you think you know me.
I'm here for you, bro.
Because of that perfectionist side of it, I'm somebody that's really in my head thinking a lot. And so I get caught up on, I want this to look like that. And I get so caught up in this that it stops me from starting. My biggest thing is always starting. Because once I start something, things kind of just flow easy for me.
It typically does.
Like writing an essay for school. Like people have always told me that I'm I know, I got an essay due.
2 of them.
On Monday.
Yeah. Better get busy.
Yeah. But I've always been a pretty good writer. At least that's what people have told me through school. whatever.
You wouldn't know me to pump
I'm
your
a
head
bomb
up.
writer. I'm
Look
the
at that.
greatest to ever do it.
You looking for me to
I
pump
got
you
that
up.
Drake pen,
Whatever.
I could ghost write for him. But I've never liked writing, enjoy writing, like essays, that type of thing. And so I'm always a person that never wants to start. Whereas when I actually sit down and start something, I can usually knock out an essay in a decent amount of time. But I get so caught up in an essay, I don't want to do that. That's gonna make me feel like this. That's gonna be
Yeah.
hard and difficult. That I don't really get to actually just do it. Like it's not gonna be hard once you start.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's a lot of people. They can get caught up in the thought of, oh, this might happen. This might look like this.
And I think that's what it is too. I mean,
Sometimes it really just ain't that deep.
just jump in and do it. I have a different mentality, and I think it comes from
I was
me
about to quote you.
procrastinating. Go ahead, quote me. I want to hear it.
Well, two things.
Now you want to
You
quote
got
somebody else,
two
man.
quotes.
Go ahead.
The dude in the NOW,
Yep. In the NOW.
which is do it in the now. When
Do
you
it
think
in
of
the
it,
now.
do it now.
There it is.
Other things, do the hardest thing first.
Do the hardest thing first. Yes.
As you get the hardest thing out of the way,
Knock
you can
it
do
out.
the easier thing.
Knock it out. Knock it out.
So that thing that you least want to do, that's the thing that you do first, because you just got to get into it. Once you get into it, the flow's not as hard. You just
Right.
got to start.
Yep.
But
I
go
agree.
ahead.
I agree. No, that's it. I don't even say anything else. You done quoted the greatest man that ever lived. So.
Yeah, whatever. All right, next one. You're in too much of a hurry.
That's.
What do you think of that one?
I don't know, man. That's kind of fell flat on me because
It fell flat on me too. Ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, because for me, like that's the opposite of you doing too much thinking, and for me,
I mean, look, I could see that as the opposite. I could see that being a possibility.
I mean, only why do they fail? Because you're doing
Like you
you're
might
in
jump
too much
into
of a
something too easily and go so hard into it without putting practicality and thought process and how to adjust your lifestyle to it. And so it falls flat because you can't sustain it because you just jumped into it so quickly.
I mean, but my thing is, and I'm
Like, oh, I'm gonna start going to the gym every day. I'm about the gym membership, all that, and then you find out, oh, I can't really afford that in my budget.
But see, so here's I guess my thing is, and it's because of me. And you spoke about integrity a few minutes ago. I always tell people I'm a man of my word, even if it costs me personally.
Yeah.
And so for me, if I jump out and do it without processing it, oh well, sir, you're gonna have to stick to it. You know what I'm saying? But that's me, and I
Yeah.
know everybody's not that way. So I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
All right, the next one, you don't enjoy the process. I
Right.
mean,
That would go. You jumped into it you was in too much of a hurry because you didn't process what you were getting into.
well, I think you have to make yourself enjoy the process.
I don't think it's always about enjoying the process, man.
Well, that's what I mean by you have to make yourself enjoy the
Okay,
process.
okay.
Because once you jump into something, it's not always like the idea of the outcome is great, but you have to fall in love with the process of getting to the outcome.
I think the process is the thing that's supposed to be hard because the process is the thing that builds the character.
Well, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but that's why you have to invest yourself in the process more than you invest yourself into the result.
It's like, I mean, they say a diamond is made when coal is put under pressure.
Oh, got a quote. I'm gonna find it.
There you go with that again. But yeah, a diamond is made when coal is put under pressure. It's like the diamond
Dang,
didn't
I
enjoy
just
the
looked-
process. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'll get back to it.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, that was it. I was done.
I wasn't ready.
Okay. So
I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say.
okay, cool. So do I need to go ahead? Move on?
Here it is.
All right.
Found
Okay.
it. Bet. Muhammad Ali.
I'm the
right.
greatest.
So my thought was, I just saw a picture of Muhammad Ali, and the dude that played him in the movie looked like him.
Okay, yeah, we just watched that movie, but I ain't gonna tell you. We're gonna plug it.
All right, so the quote is, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion.
I told you that before. I think I quoted that to you before because you're right. I love that quote. Don't quit.
Right.
Yeah.
So when it comes to you don't enjoy the process, it's not it's not like that easy surface level enjoyment, but it's like, I know that this is gonna build in me what's necessary for me to see the result.
Mhm.
So I'm going to commit myself to the process and not commit myself to reaching the result.
There you go. That speaks bars for a lot of stuff that we talked about there.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it.
Whatever, man. It wasn't you. It was Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, whatever. Number 7, you're trying too hard.
You're trying too hard.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's more of a certain type of person that would have that problem. Like, I wouldn't have that kind of problem. Or you might not have that kind of problem. That might be more of a type A problem.
oh, you know what? You better be glad you said that. 'Cause I was gonna say because you don't try hard, but that's all right.
Whatever. I feel like that might be more of a type A problem.
Okay.
Somebody that, like, they get really caught up in, oh, this has to get done, and I have to worry about this, focus on this, and if I'm not doing this, then that means this, or I'm lazy, or I'm lackluster, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Somebody that kind of get caught up in getting things done or doing things a certain type of way. I feel like you can try too hard to the point where you tire yourself out of something and fall out of it completely.
All right, now these are 10 reasons why New Year's resolutions fail. Because I'm looking at the next one, and I don't know if I agree with that next one either. You don't track your progress.
I think that depends on the type of person.
I mean, you ain't got to track your progress for it to fail. I mean,
Well, I mean,
or
it's just
succeed.
a possible. Like, possibly you could fail at something. Like, say you set a goal, like a budget, a financial budget. I'm gonna save more.
Mhm.
I'm gonna spend less.
Uh-huh.
So you make that as a goal, but you don't do anything to determine that you're actually spending less. That could cause you, like, you don't set out a budget.
Okay.
I mean, but you're not that type of person.
Nah.
You don't chart things. You just make the mental note.
Yeah, because my thing is, if I say I'm gonna spend less, my goal is to spend less.
But, like,
And if I spend less, I know I'm spending less. Why I need to track it? I mean, and I'm not saying not to track it. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, I mean,
no, this is what I'll say to what you said.
go ahead.
What I'll say is, if you don't track things, you don't really know.
What
Like,
gets measured gets done.
You said what?
What gets measured get done. What gets measured
Well,
gets
if
done.
you know that and know it's true, then why you refute what was just said?
You're
sir?
right, man. You're right. It just hit me. It just hit me, man. I'm allowed to be wrong.
You right,
Thank you.
but you ain't. What's the next one?
You have no social support, and we talked about
Yeah,
that.
that could be huge. Social support always helpful. Have the right people in your corner, and not just people that make you feel good, but people that hold you accountable as well.
Yeah.
Make sure you have some of both.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with some of my friends about that
You ain't got no
because
friends.
whatever. I don't have no friends. I had a conversation with some of my acquaintances about that. And well, we had a friend that was doing something, and they was all, "Oh, hoorah, like hooray, this and that. We support you." And I was like, "Nah, forget that. I'm gonna tell you the ugly truth."
Yeah.
So I'm like, if we
Yeah.
all just hooray,
Yeah.
telling them the good, like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying like y'all are wrong in that. I appreciate that y'all contributing that, but somebody has to give this other side
don't
as
sell a
well.
bill of goods, man.
'Cause
Don't be
if we're-
trying to fake the funk on
If
that
we're
dude,
all
man.
doing the same thing, then there's no need for all of us to be there.
Right.
Is what I said.
Right.
But
Yeah. I mean, that's a true friend, man, to hold you accountable. You know, he tell you the good and the bad.
all right, last thing.
Number 10, you know your what,
what,
but
but
not your why.
Bar. That's
Oh,
solid. 100%.
man.
Great.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
Yeah, that's a great one right there. That's the conversation I have with people all the time. Like, you know, what's your why? What's your why? If you don't know your why, you fall short every time.
Yeah.
You fall short every time.
And so, and putting that in more of layman's terms,
Uh-huh.
less of a bar.
Okay, let's
Because I love bars, but let's break it down. So you know your what, but not your why. You know what you want to do, but you don't know why you want to do it.
Mhm.
Is the quickest flip of it to make it more understandable. But I'm trying to think of a good example of what
your
you want to
energy
do.
is tied to your why.
Right.
So the way I look at it is this: like your why is your energy, because you can do, like, say for instance, and we kind of alluded to it. Why do I want to lose weight?
Right.
Because my energy is tied into why I want to lose weight, not the fact that I want to lose weight.
Yes. But you can't be focused on the result.
It's not the result.
It's about, because the why is what will make you want to do
Healthy.
the
I want to
right
be
thing.
healthier. I want to be
Right.
healthier.
The why is what will make you want to do the right things. The
Right.
why is your motivator. Your why is your passion piece. And the only way that you can truly achieve something is if you believe in why you're doing it.
Right.
Um,
Because if you don't believe in why you're doing it,
you have nothing to drive you to do it.
well, and other things that easily come and derail you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, Something such as I was trying to think of a different example because we already used this one, but even just go back to something like COVID. The pandemic, which was hard,
Mhm.
and it was something that could shake your goals. It's not necessarily something that had to stop every goal that you had. It shouldn't have been the factory reset. You know what? Let's call it quits on this year. We'll just
Right. Because
which is why you don't like resolutions.
let me give you a good example because I will tell you one. And a few people had the same thing. They wanted to save money to buy a house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And to my knowledge, I don't know any of them that got laid off. So that would be a reason why they couldn't have done it. But COVID was not a good reason not to stick to that.
Right.
Because regardless of whether we're in COVID or not, you're gonna want a house.
Money.
But you gonna still want a house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you know your why, you know it kind of like we had people like we talked about it before. We sold our house during COVID. Right, because the people wanted a bigger house, and knowing that they want a bigger house, COVID just accelerated that.
Right,
and so you're gonna say something.
Your why is that reminder in the moment of weakness.
Okay, I can bar that out. Your
So
why is your reminder in a moment of weakness.
So say it's like because it's so common going to the gym, and today you had a rough day at work. And you kind of just want to come home. You want to chill. Forget the diet for the day. I had a bad day. I want to eat something sweet that makes me feel better. All the kind of thing. That your why is what will come and say, but hold up now. You wanted this outcome. You wanted this for this reason. And if we truly believe, we as you talking to yourself, if you truly believe in why you're doing this and what you're trying to achieve, then we can't allow you can't allow yourself to get shaken up by a day like this. Like, no, we believe in what we're doing, so let's continue to do it. That's what a why will do for you. Your why can be that motivation to kind of get past little bumps in the road.
All right, I give you that. So we'll call it quits there. I think it was a pretty exhaustive list of New Year's resolutions and then reasons why New Year's resolutions fail, and using the word why. I mean, getting to know your why. If you can apply your why to your resolutions, regardless of when you started, at the beginning of the new year or sometime mid-year, it'll be something that'll help you to carry through on it. Go ahead.
Or day to day. But I was just going to end it with kind of the end of, what was at the end of the list? And it says, the more specific you can make your goal, the more vivid it will be in your imagination, the more encouraged you'll be, and the more likely it is you will succeed. And then there's some sentimental, yes you can, yes at the end. I'm just going to cut all that. Handle your business.
So, Bum Podcast.
Between
you and me.
Between you and me.
New Year's edition.
Yeah. Holla.